How's it, guys, and welcome to another show of Getting to Grips, brought to you by Godox SA and Golden Power Batteries. So today we're actually going to be playing around with some color and some changing what the white background actually looks like. A lot of people have actually said to me, Karl, why have you done all your studio white? It's very limiting. How are you going to actually put a bit of creativity into your space? So if a client wants a color, I can paint the wall, a section of the wall, and the client can have the color. Or I can put up my color backgrounds, or we can use light. So this is go beyond white, create background with light. I think that rhymes, eh? Yeah. That's not bad. I didn't even think about that. But anyway, we're going to have some fun with light. But before we get started, I just want to shout out to a lot of the guys that we're collabing with. For instance, we have a new collaboration this year with Jordan Legacy Management. So they are going to be actually supplying models for us to actually have here on Getting to Grips. So we'll have different faces, different styles, different personalities. So it's going to be quite fun and quite cool. Then also we have Tamba, who actually helped us, gave us advice and everything on the actual cycle. And we're actually using the OC Go stream from Tamba. And also we make use of the Blackmagic A10 Mini Pro as well. So lots of stuff there. Get through to their website. They got an awesome shop there called Applix. Make sure you get there and see for all your broadcasting needs. All right. So everything else is Godox, okay? Everything else is Godox. We're going to be using Godox lighting. We're going to be using Godox modifiers. We're going to be using everything Godox, which you can get from godox.co.za, or even Golden Power Batteries for anything else photographic as well. Okay, something else is also new, that if you see me looking down, I'm just not used to the comfort monitor. This is something new that we've done this year. So if I'm not looking at camera and I'm doing this, I'm just checking what's going on. So ignore my face going down every now and again when we do the shoot. Okay, but let me get the first light set up, and then I will introduce our model, which is from Jordan Legacy Management. Okay. So I'm going to set up an AD300 Pro, and we're going to use this as giving us a bit of color. So then we're going to obviously find out exactly what the model is wearing, what color she's wearing. And if you see this camera going like I'm doing robotics, it's a network camera. So just don't worry about the internet speed. All right. So I'm going to set this up. We'll set up a gel on the AD300. It does have... Let me just show you what it has on here. There you go, the AD300 Pro with the ADR14. Okay, you can leave it on that camera, Tony. Alright, so I'm going to be looking at some color. Okay, so I'm just going to use a gel. This is sort of like an orangey beige, I suppose. I don't know what it's going to come out like, but it looks cool. All of this stuff is half the time trial and error, hey? So let's see. I'll put this on. Just use a bit of gaffer tape just to stick the actual gel on. I'm going to put the light on. Now you're not going to see anything on the camera because the video lights are going to wash out the gel. So we're going to introduce our model, Nubuso, to the stage. Come. All right. Now, do you fit in camera? Yes, you do. No, it's the heels. I know it's the heels. I'm in my flats, so it's going to be quite an interesting one. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be Now obviously firing the gel just to see what the color looks like on the background. Hopefully the model will be silhouetted. Silhouetted. A silhouette in the actual image, because we're going to set up each light individually so you can see how this is actually put together. Okay. Camera I'm using, my good old Canon 6D and my Canon 24-105L series lens, Godox X3 trigger, and I think my camera settings is maxing speed on mine is 1/60th f8, and I think I'm sitting at around about 100 and let's try the 100 ISO. I might actually lift the ISO because skin tones and stuff like that. But let me take my first picture without flash on, because no flash, no picture. Just come forward a little bit. Okay. So this is going to be the best picture totally, because it's going to be pitch black. So if you can get the super source up there, Talia. There you go. That is the most important picture of the day. This one, this black one, because that means that none of these video lights are going to be affecting our image. Now you could be learning some stuff now as well. So that means the video lights are not lighting you up. So whatever I use is the lights that are going to be lighting you up. So I'm going to take another shot now. And hopefully you should be silhouetted, so you don't have to do any major posing here. I'm just gonna... And we have a silhouette. How cool is that? So we've got the silhouette, which is... Talia, put it back onto the super source. I was about to point to the image and explain why we did it. Can you imagine if she does this to me live? Okay, so this is the actual silhouette, which you can actually see there. So we've got sort of a nice gradient background. Actually, the hair looks cool in the silhouette. No, that's cool. So now we're going to add in another light. So we need a key light. And our key light, I'm going to try and use a projection unit. Or camera 2. Alright, so I'm going to use, let me bring it down here. So I've got an 8400 Pro with an SA17 and an SAP projection unit. So this is the one that's right. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to need to turn down for video light so I can see the projection unit, and then this will also, I'll turn on the modeling lamps, and then you'll be able to see exactly what the environment and what the actual feel is of the actual lighting. So let's hopefully my app works. Turn off the front lights, and then this one front light stands on, and well, lucky enough my ceiling is not too high. I will switch this one off, and I will switch this one off. So we're going to be in dark, but the camera should pick up. There you go. So we're in a bit of a warm color, and now I'm going to position it. So I want you to get into a pose. I just want to get this positioned onto you. So the whole idea on this is I don't want to get the white light onto the background, because we've got, and I'm just going to turn this modeling lamp off a minute so I can actually just get this one into play. Okay. So we're going to get that. There may be a little bit of spill that goes onto the back, but let's see what happens. Where is my camera? Alright, so I'm going to take a shot from this side, and I'm going to be shooting more 3/4 type stuff. What does that look like? Did I get the face? That's what I want to see. Yeah, just keep it there. I'm just gonna open that up a little bit. Just gonna get more of the output, and okay, so I think we got it there. So keep your head in that sort of position. Even work with your ponytail as well. So it's almost like a bit like fashion. Okay, so we're going to take a couple of images. Gotta make sure I'm catching the face. Just stay there in that pose again. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to project onto the background using the key light. I'm going to create almost like a square, and then I'm going to have this gel on. Then I'm going to actually add in another gel on this side, so it just adds a bit of a gradient in, a bit more of a gradient in on the actual image. So what we're going to do is get this one lower. Now I'm going to don't have to worry about I'm going to do some standing ones for this one first, because this one we're going to get some shape in the arms, and we're going to get some cool shadows in behind. So let's see how this one goes. Turn these off just so I can position this square. I want to see how big the square is. And we'll put the lights back on again when I actually so shorten this square a bit, and then we're going to focus. Focus it there, and we're going to make it a bit bigger. Okay guys, so next one I'm going to be looking at doing is having the projection unit, and we're going to project a square as a key light, and then we're going to throw in the additional gels as I mentioned earlier. So I'm going to keep this color gel on, and then we'll introduce another one. But before I actually put the background lights on, I'm just going to take a shot with just a square, so you can actually see by using a projection unit, whatever light you actually are using, that is it. Everything else goes black. So I'm going to actually just put C off. And I'm going to take a shot. So without the color, see how important it is to make sure you position your light right, because that is far too low down, and there's No other light around there. Even though we got all the video lights on, that light is non-existent around outside of the projection unit. So I'm going to lift this one up. I can just about see it on the back wall. Everything else goes. So let's put on C and let's see what we can do with one light, and then we'll bring in another light. And then I'm going to make sure I'm in line with this. Let me just put my back camera is right on there. Let me bring in some other light. I'm just seeing which color is going to actually go with this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to try now and add in another light here, and we need to change the battery on that one. Okay, so we're going to add two background lights in on this shot and have the projection unit also firing. We'll keep it as a square for now and see what type of gradient. Then we'll start doing some shots and get some poses in place once we are happy with the light. So I'm going to turn down the yellow one a little bit. Okay. Let's do another one there. Alright, so what we're going to do, we've got the lights now set up. I've actually put the BFP with the Canon 50mm lens on just to actually make the square a little bit bigger behind the model. So the key light is going to be the BFP. It's going to hit the background, and then the gels are going to hit the background just to fill in a bit of color. Otherwise we'll just get a solid black outline around the actual square. So I'm going to take a couple of shots like this, and then we will have a look at what comes out from these ones, and then we will change the setup a little bit again against the wall. Alright, so you ready? Posing every time it flashes. Okay. Cool, I just want to make sure I've got enough space to get the square in. Cool. Okay, let's have one where you're almost using your hair. That's cool. And if you notice, there we go. If you notice, I'm almost shooting directly in line with the projection unit to make sure we get some smaller shadows. Because if I take a shot from over here, okay, just give me a pose, look towards me. If I take a shot here, we can get the different angle ones. Just looking towards this light, this one here. Yeah, because this is going to be the main light, not directly into the thing, but just make sure your face is aligned with that light. Keep it there. might actually switch the lens back, because this lens, the 50mm lens, would actually be far too big for the actual space that we're going to be shooting. So I'm going to put the 85mm lens. So for those who are probably asking, what is the difference between the 85 and the 50mm? What does it do? The 50mm will give you a much wider sort of, if you were doing a circle, then it will give you a much wider circle. An 85 will give you a tighter one. And I've even used my 200mm lens on here, which then that gives you a very small, narrow beam of light through the Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually give you a circle. I'm going to do a circle of light. And I'm going to bring it a little bit closer. Alright, that should be about it. And then I'm just going to fire these into the air. So we're going to push that there, push that there. We should then get color in on here. So I'm going to take from this angle. And I'm going to do a full length shot. So now looks like a totally different. Do you want to see the image on the screen? Alright, let me do a couple more. Okay. Alright, so now we've got utilizing the corner. Now what I'm going to do is actually take the gel off, and this should give us it's going to bounce the lights off the back wall. Still utilizing the backgrounds. I'm going to get a full length shot here. So now we've got the grey color coming in on that. I'm going to do a close up. Just bring this arm up a just keep it there. So I'm just gonna put a bit of shape in here now. So I'm gonna actually switch the lens back to the 50mm. Because the light is actually quite close, I'm just gonna put this on and do a full length strip of light. See where this light is. Right, so I'm just gonna, if you can put your elbow around about there and then just come forward a little bit, it's cool. And then I want you to look towards the side so we get the light coming in on you there. Alright, so we can go back to camera 1 there, Tanya. And we have the model up against the wall. It's also going to be full length shot, just to give a different shape. And then I'm going to put in some light. there. I'm going to do a full length. Put it up to 200 ISO and give me another shot there. Just arch your back against the wall. And I'm going to do it from this angle. Change my angles around a bit. Right. So the next thing we're going to do, also we're going to work with the color gels on the white background, and then we're going to actually introduce a key light with a softbox, and then we're also going to add in an additional sort of texture into the background, if you want to call it just some shape. Alright, so come center stage, we have a supermodel. Okay, happy with that light? Alright, so now what we can do is we can add a little bit of extra flavor into the background, where we can actually have a projection unit, putting a gobo. So everything that everyone should know what a gobo is. This is a gobo. Okay, all it is, gobo is exactly what it means. It's a go between the light and the subject. That's what a gobo is. So that's what we're going to put on the back wall. Okay, so gobos you can actually get from Godox SA.co.za or Golden Power batteries, but you can actually get them custom made. They're not cheap. I think some of the places will charge you around about 1800 Rand for one, and then maybe every time you cut that one, they'll charge you 700 Rand per gobo. So yeah, it's not cheap, but you can get the ones from Godox from www.godox.co.za. So we've got the gobo in place. I don't know where it's going to land on the back of the wall. We will take a shot and have a look. Super sauce, Tanya. And there it is. In this I've actually got the 50mm, the Canon 50mm lens actually on the projection unit. Okay, and give me a bit more shape into the body, and cool. With your elbows out like this, it just looks too wide on the top. So if you're going to do this, almost try and put them on an angle and shape. That's cool. Just turn your head towards this light. Just turn your head towards this side. Okay, so we've got a couple there. Okay. Get this one in line with that. Okay. Let's try that. I'll probably gotta notch that power down a bit because now it's a bare bulb. Put the blue one back on this one. So again with the blue. Bit of light. There. There, and then I'm just going to focus in on this one. And then just maybe grab your hair there. Cool. Oh. Alright, so the next setup, what we're going to be doing, we're going to be looking at some simple stuff that you can actually get from any gift shop. It's almost like this gift wrap paper that you actually use. Cut a piece off, hang it on a stand. Then I'll show you what it does, having a light pointing to it and shooting through it. Gives a nice cool effect on the background. So that's another option you can actually do, having this as your background color. Almost works like a gel. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually turn off the lights quickly so you guys can see exactly what this effect is going to be. And I will wait for all the ooh, wows and things from the crowd. You can create your own aurora. So if you imagine that you're actually shooting on video and you have your assistant actually do all sorts of things, you can create an aurora in studio on your background. How cool is that? Huh? Ooh. Alright, so let's come and have you stand up. It's washing out too much there. Oh, what happened to my... Where did this battery go? Ah. Put that bonding lamp back on. See, we're gonna lift up to about 1/16. So we've got that. Just gonna bring this around a little bit more. Come forward a little bit. Okay. I'm just going to move this light because it's going to give me different effects as well. Move it closer here. Alright, so that's the green sort of aurora effect. Works well in video as well because you can actually. And so now we're going to do something different. We're going to shoot this way. And this is going to give us totally different. And we might get the pink jacket. How different is that? And it's the same piece of paper. So it's the same piece of paper, it's just going to give you a different effect. Whatever way that you actually shoot. Towards this light. And I think with this background, what we can do, we can probably get your pink jacket. So all you do is just while we're getting the pink jacket, I'm just going to turn the lights back on. Forward a little bit. Remember to work with this light, this is your friend. And okay. So what I want you to do is put shape, even I know the jacket's a bit more restricting, but just to see where that square is on the wall. That's where we're gonna put your back into the square, so that's it. Oh, hold on. Okay. Alright, same again, back up against the wall. Yeah, so that one doesn't look so bad. And you do a couple of 3/4 ones. Cool. And one tight close up. Bring your head, just take one step over. Yeah, out there. So this is a wrap. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was insightful. And this is not the last we're going to do on this type of thing, because there's many other technologies that we can actually create backgrounds on, or create backgrounds with, and it just transforms your images. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a full-on show that I'm going to do for that one. I've just got to organize some of the equipment and stuff for that show, but it's going to be awesome. And there's many other good shows coming up, so make sure you stay tuned to Getting to Grips, brought to you by Godox SA and Golden Power Batteries. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you again soon. Cheers for now.